Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, our today's topic is to study the effects of acid rain and the control measures. Acid rain is harmful to agriculture, plants, and animals as well. Acid water dissolves the nutrients and minerals like calcium, potassium, phosphorus in the soil and then wash them away before these nutrients are taken by plants and trees. So what happens is this acid rain actually causes or leads to the death of the plants and trees because plants and trees cannot use these nutrients for growth. And acid rain also cause yellowing of leaves. We call it chlorosis. Leaves become yellow and then turn brown and finally become dead and fall. This acid rain and fog also damage forests, especially those forests that are present at the higher elevations or higher altitudes. So these two pictures can show you the effect of acid rain on the forests. Acid rain has many ecological effects, especially on lakes, streams, and the water bodies. This acid rain, when it falls on the earth, so what happens is this acid rain is finally, carried to the water bodies. It reaches lakes, rivers, and other water bodies. So, what happens is the pH of the water body, becomes low, or we can say the water becomes more acidic. Now, with the result, more aluminum absorption takes place from the soil, and this acid rain with this more aluminum is carried to the lakes and streams and finally makes water toxic to crayfish, clams, fish, and other aquatic animals. So this acid rain also affects humans. SOx and NOx react in the atmosphere to form fine or small sulfate and nitrate particles, and these fine sulfate and nitrate particles, are inhaled by the people. Can be inhaled, you know, into the lungs of the humans, which later on can cause different respiratory issues in humans and animals. Acid rain can also cause breathe these acid particles can also cause breathing difficulties for people who are suffering with asthma, and can also cause eye irritation in humans. Acid rain also causes corrosion of water pipes, as water pipes are made of metal. So what happens is this acid rain results in then this corrosion of water pipes result in the leaching of heavy metals such as iron, lead, copper into the drinking water. Acid rain damages the buildings and monuments that are made of stones and metals. Let's have a look at some real life examples. Let's take the example of Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal is one of the seven wonders of the world. It is located in city Agra. Since Agra has many industries, so there are lots of vehicles. So these industries make use of coal. So coal is used on a very large scale. So when this coal is burnt, what is happening is oxides of sulfur are released into the atmosphere, and vehicles release nitrogen oxides into the atmosphere. So ultimately acids are formed in the atmosphere. So when these acids come down in the form of rain, so this acid rain then reacts with the this these stones. For example, this Taj Mahal is made of a stone called as marble, which is actually calcium carbonate. So what is happening is when acid rain is there, like this H2SO4, this is sulfuric acid, when it reacts with the calcium carbonate. So as the Taj Mahal is made of calcium carbonate, so it leads to the formation of calcium sulfate. So this formation of calcium sulfate results in the corrosion of this beautiful monument. You can see this is the before and after pic of Taj Mahal. So this is before the effect of acid rain. So actual color of the Taj Mahal was white because marble is white in color. So nowadays it has turned, or it has become slightly yellowish because of the corrosion. So corrosion basically means calcium sulfate is formed because of this reaction. All right. Likewise, we have Statue of Liberty in USA, and this Statue of Liberty is made of copper. It has also been damaged by the cumulative action of acid rain and oxidation for over 30 years now, and therefore this Statue of Liberty, it is becoming green in color. You can see here, this is the before and after image of Statue of Liberty. So the control measures of acid rain includes the improvement in technologies. So we need to improve the technologies, and we need to switch over to the clean combustion technology. So we need to make use of solar energy, wind energy. So for that matter, we can use nuclear energy as well, because that's also a clean clean technology. In order to reduce the air pollution. So when air pollution is reduced, automatically this acid rain can be controlled. So emissions of SOx and NOx from industries and power plants should be reduced by using pollution control equipments. Coal with low sulfur content should be used in thermal power plants, and coal can be replaced by natural gas, and which would ultimately reduce the problem of acid rain. Liming of lakes and soils should be done to balance the acidic pH. So what will happen is, the lakes and the soil that have already become acidic, so lime should be added, so that's called as liming. So when we add lime to the lakes and soils, to the acidic lakes and soils, so what will happen is, so it will balance the acidic pH. So that way the adverse effect of acid rain can be minimized to some extent. All right, so these are the control measures of acid rain. Thank you, have a nice day.